Now, it's not the kind of test that you have to pass or, get a A or a B, or it's not that kind of test. It's a test to see where you stand eschatologically. You should take this test to make sure if you're following the church's teaching that you really agree with it. I think many of you, when you take the test, if you're honest with yourself, you're going to say, I don't line up with what the church teaches because you haven't been exposed to it. We have all been contaminated by church teaching over the decades when it relates to prophecy. You have to red pill yourself and wake up. The test might help some of you. We'll see. But it's important that you do this. Real quick, I asked the viewer who knows common Greek to take a look at one of the verses in the Olivet discourse regarding the second sign. He has done that, and I want to talk about that in the next video. That discussion deserves its own time, but this discussion deserves its own time too. So we'll put that off till next video. Thank you, by the way, Cole Locke, for doing that and getting back to me. And I'm sorry it took so long for me to get back to you, but I've been focused this week on this video. This is so important because the contamination is rife throughout the congregation. The church needs to come awake to it, of what's happened to them. Another viewer left a snarky little comment saying, after my last video, so when I go out in the backyard and I see missiles coming, Stan, I'm just supposed to stand there and take it? Now that person, I'm sure it was a male, they're almost always male. That person absolutely has no idea what I was talking about because of his level of contamination. I was talking about what the Lord was talking about in Luke 17 and elsewhere. The kind of day the church does not teach. That's why it was foreign to you, brother. He says on that day, when you see that day and it comes upon you, do not run into the house for your possessions. Don't even be thinking about your life down here on earth. Be ready to give it up. If you're in the field, don't go back into the house where your possessions are, your goods are. That's not how you're to be thinking on that day. You are to be raising up, lifting up your head because you know your redemption draws near. And the only way that you can be ready for that day and recognize that day when it arrives is to red pill yourself from the church, to wake up from their teaching, because they're not teaching you that. When you wake up, you will learn about that day, what it looks like, what you're supposed to do. It's easy. It's simple. It's just a matter of being aware of it. But you're not at this point. That's why it seems foolish to you. Would you say that to Jesus on Luke 17? So calamity is happening. I'm in the field, but I'm just supposed to stand there, Lord? No, you would never say that. Of course you wouldn't. I'm just repeating his teaching. Now, what you're going to say, brother, is, Luke 17 isn't for the church. Why do you say that? Contamination. That's why you say that. That's why, and this is why you should take the test, to find out if you really do agree with the church. Because on a very crucial point, what this channel has learned is the polar opposite of what the church teaches. I'll offer both to you. You decide which way to go. In the first chapter of the book of Revelation, and I want you to picture this, as you're about to enter this building called the book of Revelation, the Lord meets us outside the building in chapter 1, and he gives us the clue of a lifetime. John has seen him walking among the lampstands, holding 7 stars in his right hand, and he says, the mystery of the lampstands and the 7 stars, the stars are the angels to the 7 churches. Oh, folks, the first time you read that, whatever room you were in, here's what should have happened. Yeah. Pay close attention to that. The stars are angels, and he's relating it to the church age. that is so important. Now, some pre-trib people, and by the way, let me just insert here, because if you're new to the channel, you're going to think, you keep picking on the pre-trib people. The only reason I'm addressing pre-trib people is because of all of the futurist positions. I'm a futurist. Pre-trib people are futurists. There are other futurist positions, post-trib, pre-wrath, mid-trib. They're so far wrong, those other three, I don't have a chance with them. It's the pre-trib group that I have a chance with. They're the ones most likely to see this. They're the ones that populate the evangelical church, so I'm attracted to them naturally anyway. I want them to see this. The others are too far gone. It's like triage. We're in an urgent situation. I'm trying to help the pre-trib people because I think they have the best chance. That's why. The pre-trib teachers may say about those angels, oh, they're not really angels, they're messengers, they're the elders of the church or the pastors of the church. Baloney. That is never the case throughout the book of Revelation. Never, not one other time, not one more time ever. It's not, they are angels. John, who I believe is the Apostle John, he never uses angel like that. It's always the angel of God. The angelic beings. Paul, who was the apostle to the Gentiles and the churches, never uses angel to represent the leaders of the church. That's garbage. The reason they do that is right up front. They don't want you to see the star-angel connection. But brothers and sisters, it's there in the book of Revelation, and he is stopping you at the door, and he's telling you, remember the connection. Apply it rightly. It will set you free from church teaching on eschatology. This is important, friends. Never in the New Testament is that word used in relation to pastors or elders of churches. But it's your test. If you want to go with pastors or elders, go with it. But you won't go with it again, because it's not even going to be an option from this point forward. I'm going with, he is telling us these are angels. Does it surprise you that he would have angels watching over his church? Doesn't surprise me. This is his valuable property. From there, we get the 7 letters, and 2 times in the letters, he reminds us how important this connection is. Once he does it to the church at Ephesus. To the angel of the church in Ephesus write, the words of him who holds the 7 stars in his right hand. Let me hear it again. Powerful stuff. And to the angel of the church in Sardis write, the words of him who has the 7 spirits of God and the 7 stars. You see how important they are to him? Reinforcing what he just told us. It's a church age instruction about the 7 stars. It's not a coincidence that both Ephesus and Sardis need to wake up. They are in desperate situations. The 7 stars are angels. Will wake them up if they'll see it. After the 7 letters, we go into the throne room. The next time the word star or stars is used is at the 6th seal. Let's take a look. When he opens the 6th seal, there's a great earthquake. The sun becomes black as sackcloth. The moon becomes like blood. The full moon becomes like blood. And the stars of heaven fell to the earth. That's ground zero for us. We're going to come back to that. Now, the choice is going to be, are stars stars? Sometimes stars are stars. Sometimes they're not. It's how we apply the truth that he gave us back in chapter 1 that's going to make the difference. Hold your thoughts on that for a second, because the next time or times that star or stars is used, is in Revelation 12. Watch. And a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. There's no reason not to believe those aren't stars. Would she have a crown of 12 angels? That really doesn't make any sense. If you want to go with elders and pastors here, I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. That's foolish. No, I think the stars are stars here. They may symbolically represent something else. Most pre-trib pastors will tell you they represent the 12 tribes of Israel. I'm not going to comment on that. Maybe that's true, maybe it isn't. But here, it's just an astronomical entity. They're stars. They may represent something else, but they're just stars. But the next one is the interesting one. Right after that sign in chapter 12, he sees another sign of a red dragon, and his tail swept down a third of the stars of heaven and cast them to earth. Even pre-trib pastors will generally agree these are the fallen angels who rebelled with Satan, and they get cast down to earth. That's exactly how I see it. Do you think that these are stars, astronomical entities, or do you believe these are angels, the fallen angels who were cast to earth? It's not a coincidence that right after he sees these signs, war in heaven breaks out, and Satan and his angels are cast to earth. Now, here's a clear example of, in one case, the stars are stars, just stars, literal stars in the sky. In the next one, just a verse or two later, the stars represent clearly angels. They are angels, and they're not good, and they're getting cast to earth when war in heaven breaks out. So, with that information, let's go back to the sixth seal, because stars are falling from heaven there as well. Do we have any indication of what these stars are? Yes, we do. The very next sentence. The stars fell to earth as the fig tree sheds its winter fruit when shaken by a gale, a great wind. So there's something unusual about these stars. Are these similar to Revelation 12? Are these evil angels being cast to earth? Well, the clue about the fig tree is absolutely confirming that. The winter fruit is worthless. It never ripens. It's unripe. It never comes to maturity. It shows up and falls off without it ever becoming useful. And he is comparing the stars that are falling to earth with this winter fruit crop. They're evil, they're bad, they're worthless. These are the same angels that we saw back in chapter 12 being cast to earth. Now, you have to understand, no pre-trib pastor will ever tell you that. He can't. He knows better. They all know better. What they will tell you is the stars falling to earth, cosmic display. Every last single one of them. They cannot allow themselves to see these stars as angels. What did the Lord tell us in chapter 1? The stars are angels. They cannot do that here. They cannot do that here. And I'll explain why that is here in a minute. Just so you know, if you want to follow the church, here's your answer to the test. Those are not angels. Those are some sort of astronomic entities, meteors, a meteor shower, or some display in the heavens. That's all it is. That's all it is. Why does he compare them to winter fruit off a fig tree? Well, you can be like John MacArthur in his study Bible, pre-trib, of course. He says they're like that because in the winter, the fig tree doesn't have as many leaves, and it makes it easier for the wind to knock them off. That's a word salad. It doesn't even mean anything. It sounds like something Kamala Harris would say. It is absolutely meaningless. It gives us no reason why the Holy Spirit says those stars are like the winter fruit of a fig tree, fall to the ground. They are worthless. They don't want you to see the connection. They are emphatic that you don't. That's why they never tell you how important this passage is. The Lord told you how important this passage is. In chapter 1, he warned us, You're going to need this advice when you go into this house called the Book of Revelation. The stars in my right hand are angels, and they're angels right here. But you, if you want, can walk away from that truth, and you can side with the church and every single pre-trib pastor out there. Just say it's a cosmic display. Why are they like winter fruit? I hope that you'll come up with a better answer than Dr. John MacArthur did, because that's ridiculous. That's embarrassing. No, these are angels, and they get cast to earth at only one place. War in heaven is the only place angels get cast down to earth. That's what's happening here. That's what makes this channel different from what the church is teaching. Very different. Now, why is this important? Why couldn't the church just go along with it? Yeah, these are obviously our evil angels, and they're being cast out of heaven to earth. It's war in heaven. The seal 6 opens with war in heaven. Why don't they just say that? They can't. They can't. Because there's another place that stars fall to the earth, that the stars of heaven fall to the earth. And that's in the Olivet discourse. Twice, in 2 of the 3 versions of the Olivet discourse, Matthew and Mark, we are told that stars fall from heaven. Now, these stars, are they the same stars falling at seal 6? If they are, there should be some indication that war in heaven has happened, because that's where stars will fall to earth. Now, again, every pre-trib pastor on the planet will tell you it's just more cosmic display. That's all it is. It's just cosmic display, every last single one of them. But look what follows both times in Matthew and Mark. Stars fall to earth. What happens immediately? What's the next statement? The powers of the heavens will be shaken. That's why they're falling. There is war in heaven. Literally in the Greek, that sentence would read, the powers which are in the heavens will be shaken. The miraculous power. Who populates the heavens? The angelic hierarchy. And it's about to have a shakeup. We know about the power of God. His power is not shaken. We know about the power of the Lord Jesus Christ and the power of the Holy Spirit. Their power isn't shaken. The angelic population, the powers of the heavens, that power is being shaken. And the losers are being cast down to earth. Luke does not mention stars falling to earth, but he says the same thing this way. People fainting with fear and with foreboding of what is coming on the world. That's his way of saying the stars, the angels are falling to earth, and it's freaking the people out. The very next phrase is, why are the stars falling to earth? For the powers of the heavens will be shaken. Literally, for the powers which are in the heavens will be shaken. All 3 versions are saying the exact same thing. Why won't they admit this obvious truth? These are Satan and his angels being cast out of heaven. They can't admit it because of the very next thing. 3 times he talks about the powers which are in the heavens will be shaken, is followed by the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ. Then they will see the Son of Man coming with great power and glory. That's the reason. Why is that the reason? Because the Olivet discourse is associating the coming of the Lord with war in heaven. War in heaven is before the beast comes out of the sea. That's one of the first things Satan does after he's cast down to earth. He goes to the shore of the sea and brings up the beast. You don't want that if you're pre-trib, because this would link the Lord's coming. And what does he do after he comes, after he shows up? He sends his angels to gather the elect. So automatically this kills the idea that this is the second coming, what the church calls the second coming, the very end. It's not. It's a long way before the end, and they know it. So they avoid the stars being angels here. They do not want war in heaven here because it will kill the pre-trib position. It also kills all the other positions too, as a matter of fact. But it kills the pre-trib position, and they don't want that. It also kills the idea that back at the first seal, that would be the Antichrist or the beast rising out of the sea going forth. That can't be, because at the sixth seal, Satan hasn't brought him forth yet. He's being cast to earth. They don't want any of this. The question is, do you? What do you want? Take the test. Do you think those are angels that are coming on the earth? Literally, by the way, when Luke talks about people fainting with fear and foreboding, literally in the Greek it says, because of the ones coming on the earth. The ones are the angels being cast out of heaven. That's what they don't want you to see. That's your test. I'm not going to beg you to believe what I believe about it. Make your own decision. But when you do see the truth, that stars are angels, just like he told us in the first chapter, that's the clue he wants us to take inside the book of Revelation. It brings the Olivet discourse back onto the table. No one can ever tell you again, oh, that's a second coming, or that's not for us. You better believe it's for the church. It absolutely is for the church. And on top of that, you now have the signs to watch for. If you do not put this Olivet discourse back on the table, you won't have the signs. You'll ignore them. You won't be watching for them. And when that day comes, you won't know what's happening. But if you do put the signs and the Olivet discourse back on the table, you'll know exactly what is happening. And you'll know that the day that's coming is not this walk in the park that the church tells you will happen on the day of the rapture. It's a day of calamity, of people running and hiding. And the Lord makes it clear, don't you do that. You need to be aware. You need to be ready for this day. You need to be watching and know what kind of day it is and already have fixed it and established it in your mind. Do not seek after your possessions and your life here on earth. Be ready to lose your life here on earth so that you can save it. He who loses his life will preserve it because they'll be going with him. Remember Lot's wife. They'll never teach that in the church because they will tell you that the stars falling from heaven are just cosmic disruption. What a joke that is. Learn the truth. It is staring you in the face and it'll set you free from their lousy teaching. In the first chapter, the book of Revelation, the Lord's first teaching in the entire book is this. The mystery of the stars that you saw in my right hand, the stars are angels.